This video is brought to you by
Auckland Photographer's Clothing.
Let's talk about image editing and editing programs. Should you edit your landscape photos? Yes, of course. When you shoot RAW, you have to actually edit your photos because a RAW image is always, as the name says, raw. You have to tweak it, you have to season it, just like a raw piece of meat. Put some salt, put maybe some butter, put it in a pan, fry it, and then maybe delicious if you're not a vegetarian. But what I want to say, you have to edit it, because the RAW file will always look less good than the JPEG file compared to each other, because the JPEG file is already edited. And when you compare it to a smartphone, for example, and you look at your camera display and you look at your smartphone photo, maybe take next to each other, the smartphone photo will always look a little bit better because it is edited already. So don't make the mistake to think you are bad, the camera is bad, whatever is bad, your smartphone is much better. No, this is edited, this is unedited, you will need to edit it. What program you use is not really that important. It's important that you have a RAW converter. This is what you need to edit a RAW file. You cannot edit it with every program, but there are many options out there like Photoshop, Lightroom, Lumina, AC/DC, even some free options. Darktable is one. I never used it personally. I might test it in the future, but I use, for example, Photoshop, Lightroom, Lumina. Those are my go-to options, and I would say the best options at the moment available. There are some other options as well. Just Google it for yourself, try it out. Usually there's a test version. All of those programs usually do the same, because a RAW image has always the same stuff that is stored inside. You have to imagine it just like a simple text file, and in the text file there are some different informations, and the program then puts that information and you can change the informations. A RAW file is very big, usually 1 megabyte per megapixel. For example, when I have 50 or 60 megapixel, I would have a 60 megabyte file. A JPEG, for example, is then maybe only 6 megabyte in the same megapixel, because it's compressed already and you don't have that much information inside. But yeah, just get yourself a RAW converter, learn image editing. I have courses on my website about image editing in general with some programs, and especially for landscape photography. And also in this XXL master course, you will get a lot of information about image editing in detail on my computer. When we talk about computers, what computer do you need for landscape photography? No specific computer, but depending on the camera you are using and depending on the file size you are using, it should be a rather fast or not so fast machine. I have very good experiences with Apple. I'm an Apple guy. I'm not a fanboy, I would say, but I like the products and I use the product for many years. I tried out Windows product from Microsoft as well, but I don't like it that much. It's just my personal taste, but I have friends that work on Windows as well, so there's nothing bad about this as well. So in general, we can say it doesn't really matter. Just get yourself a fast enough machine. Usually with MacBooks, I have the experience that every machine is great. Even a MacBook Air is good enough for image editing. Even an iPad today can do image editing. I sometimes work on an iPad to edit images in Lightroom Mobile, or now it's called Lightroom CC. But still, I would not use it as my main computer. I mainly today work with a MacBook Pro. I think it's from 2021, and it has an M1 chip inside, and it has 16 gigabyte of RAM. And that's actually it. What I look for in a laptop is usually that it has enough RAM, that it has a good processor, and that it has not that much storage, because in my opinion that's usually a waste of money. Better buy yourself some external storage like SSD, 2 terabyte or 1 terabyte, or even an older hard drive to store your stuff on. But I prefer SSDs with USB-C then, for example, and you can switch files very easy. You can store the files, you can plug it out, you can back up your files, and so on and so on. So don't have that much storage in your laptop, and I don't store anything, for example, on my laptop, but everything on external drives and on multiple external drives. Then the display should be good. I never had a problem with MacBooks. I had some issues with some other manufacturers. I don't want to name any specific because they evolved over the years as well, but look for a screen that when you tilt it, it does not change.
Before we continue with this lesson, let's take a quick look at the sponsor of today's video, who's making this lesson available to you for free.
You want to take photos in pouring rain or bitter cold? Easy for me, because of the best jacket system for outdoor photographers. My name is Benjamin Jaworskyj, professional photographer for over 12 years. And this is my signature edition of the Hawkland 7-in-1 Parker Pro jacket set for photographers. When I'm outdoors, I want to focus on what's truly important. I want to feel comfortable, warm, dry, and always be ready to take the photo I have in mind, no matter how bad the weather. One set, 3 jacket layers you can wear in 7 ways, made for professional use. Check it out for your adventures. Maybe you also like the photography backpack, winter gloves or classic jacket system at www.hawkland.us.
Hawkland. Photographer's clothing.
But look for a screen that when you tilt it, it does not change. So when you tilt the screen, it should not change. It should not get matte, it should not get darker or brighter, it should always stay the same. And with Retina displays, for example, or other displays, you don't usually have that issue. Look that it's bright enough, look that the colors look beautiful, and yeah, just my opinion, with MacBooks, I never had a problem. With other laptops, I had some problems, or I did not like it that much like with my MacBook, but you can call me fanboy. I would say I'm not a fanboy, I'm just a user that likes MacBooks. So I would recommend them, but you can buy whatever you want and whatever is in your budget. But I have to say honestly that MacBooks are not that expensive anymore compared to other Pro devices out there on the market. But you can make the choice you want. In general, you can say get any image editing program that can convert RAWs you feel comfortable with and you can afford, and get any machine you feel comfortable with. When you work more on a desktop, you can work with a big computer. I prefer laptops to work everywhere, and if you have big files, you need a faster machine. If you have small files, you need a smaller machine. And I wish you a lot of fun with your image editing. What is the right clothing for landscape photography? And you might wonder, why do we even have to talk about it? But I find it very important, not only by coincidence, I have my own clothing collection out. No, really, I did that whole clothing collection because I needed special landscape photography clothing. Because when I'm out in the wild, I need to have several layers of clothing. This is what I would recommend you, no matter if you buy our clothing from Hawkland or if you buy other clothing. You need different layers for different scenarios. Usually when you're out photographing in the morning or in the evening, it gets pretty chilly. Even here where you're filming on a Spanish island, and at day it's super warm, the sun is shining, t-shirt weather, sun is burning, but in the evening, as you can see here, I'm wearing a fleece. It's pretty chilly in the shadow with the wind blowing from behind. So you need to have the right clothing that keeps you warm, keeps you protected. My base layer usually is, when I'm in very cold conditions, a thermal shirt, so very thin layer, and then over it, it's a fleece layer, like this one, because fleece is very breathable and as well keeps you warm. So you don't sweat that much underneath and all the moisture and all the air can go out. And as well, it's a little bit water protective, so even if there's a light drizzle, you get a light water protection from a good fleece. So in general terms, it's cozy, it's warm, and it's very comfortable and practical to use. What we then did with Hawkland is we added special photo features that I needed in the field when I was photographing. Like for example here, even in that fleece hoodie I'm wearing, this microfiber cloth attached to a string. You can clean your lens, you can clean your camera if you need it, and you can just bring it back into your sleeve pocket here. Then we have some big pockets here, and usually I store some stuff there when I'm photographing. This, for example, is a pretty cozy hoodie. but we have just a regular fleece as well with a 7-in-1 jacket, or you can buy it as well single. We have special photography features inside as well for storage. That means you have like a mini photo bag with SD compartments, battery compartments and bigger pockets, and as well here on the side are some pockets with some zips. So you need enough pockets to store stuff. In my case, usually batteries, because batteries, when I'm in colder conditions, they discharge very fast, and then they don't have that much energy left. Especially with drone batteries, it's a huge issue when you don't store it right. I personally store it here in the inside mini photo bag to keep it with my body heat warmed up all the time. Sometimes you cannot fly, sometimes you have only 50% left of energy. Also with GoPros, when we are filming in Norway, we had some issues when it was not close to the body, even in maybe 7 degrees Celsius outside. So always keep batteries very warm and cozy, that they don't get empty that fast. Then I would recommend you a second layer. It's a more puffy layer that can also have a little bit air inside. This is why it's puffy, to keep you more warm, more insulated. And you can take that layer off when it's too warm, or you can bring it on when it gets cold and you stand around a lot, because in landscape photography, usually, let's say northern lights, or let's say you wait for something special like a sunset, sunrise, whatever, you stand around. You walk first a lot, you wander around, and then you stand a lot. So an insulated jacket, a puffy jacket to put over the fleece jacket, and then you are pretty warm. But then comes the next element. This is usually rain and wind, or snow maybe even, but snow is not that difficult, but rain and wind is. So you need a rain and wind protection as your last layer. In Germany we say it's an onion principle, because you have different layers like an onion, a base layer, a middle layer, an insulated layer, and an outer layer or an outer shell, which is usually the rain and wind protection. So get yourself a wind protection on the outside, a rain protection on the outside. There are tons of options out there, no matter if from Hawkland Photographer's Clothing or from other outdoor brands, just regular outdoor brands. The special thing about Hawkland Photographer's Clothing is that we have like the microfiber cloth in all 3 layers, also in the rain jacket, also in the insulated jacket, in the fleece layer, and the mini photo bag is also there, and everything fits over each other, and you can even zip it into each other to make it one jacket. So you have 7 different ways to wear when you buy one set, and therefore you are prepared for every weather situation. Take care depending on what you need for your photography. If you are just a regular photographer, I would say, a regular outdoor photographer, you don't need that much of rain protection. But when you are out in the field a lot in a more professional way, like I also do, we have a pro version out there that has taped seams, that has membrane fabric, that is more robust and more scratch proof, just warmer and more waterproof than our regular base model, you can say, our classic model, depending on your needs. And usually this is also why some outdoor brands are more expensive than other outdoor brands, because they just use other fabric, and some fabric is more expensive, and also the way it is stitched together is more expensive when you have to tape every seam. So yeah, this is what I would recommend for outdoor photography. Check out our website at hawkland.us or hawkland.de, depending where you're from. Also, you should find us on Amazon and at other shops. And when you don't like us, just buy anything else. Important is that you use a multi-layer system, an onion system, you can say, to keep you warm at any weather, at any time. And also there are special photography gloves that are quite useful when you photograph in very cold conditions, because they keep your fingers warm, but still you can use your camera, you can use touch and so on. And we also have it at Hawkland. But enough of the commercial for now. Yeah, but we made this brand for exactly that use, for landscape photographers, that they have good clothing, or actually for every outdoor photographer. All right, so see you in the next video.
Did you like this free lesson from my landscape photography course for beginners? Then please click thumbs up. And let me know if you are a Windows or an Apple user. And check out the playlist in the info box or up here with image editing videos that I already released here on YouTube. The complete 3-hour landscape photography course for beginners is now available on my website at www.learnfromben.com. There you can download the full course with 27 lessons and bonus lessons filmed in beautiful Norway immediately. Watch it at your own pace and bring your landscape photography this year onto a new level. Or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, because over the next 2 years there will be a free lesson from this landscape photography course every month on this channel with sponsored advertisements. So everyone can access my photography knowledge long term, regardless of their budget, and learn about the coolest hobby in the world. So subscribe now to the channel. Every Saturday at 9 AM you get a new video about photography. And if you are brand new with photography, also check out my Simply Learn Photography course or Simply Learn Smartphone Photography course. The playlist links with already released lessons you find in the info box or up here. And if you want to start immediately, again, go get all my courses, filters, tripods and so on at www.learnfromben.com. My name is Benjamin Jaworskyj, photographer and adventurer. Thank you for watching, and I wish you some amazing photos.